So, I'm gonna make some meatballs. Let's see. I'm gonna need some pork, some ground beef, so we'll make some meatballs. Let's do some garlic. Get some of that. Gonna put some cheese in there. Hey, got some other garlic too, man. We're gonna need some other shit. Did some oregano, some parsley, some salt, pepper. Maybe a little bit of complete seasoning. This stuff's awesome. You can use this on just about anything. I think it's better than like the adobo and stuff like that itself. But yeah, so we need to chop up some motherfucking garlic. Let's do that. We'll do a few cloves. We don't mind, right? Those two big mamma jammas. Get a hold of yourself. Some people like the garlic mincer thing. I think we got one here somewhere. I really don't care for them. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like it squeezes the, just seems different. I'd rather get a nice coarse chopping than use one of them mince things. Now, as far as the cheese, you know, being meatballs are more of an Italian thing. I guess it would be like proper to be like the Parmesan or Romano, those type of things. But you could, like, I'm gonna use some Monterey because that's what I got. So this is kind of like meatballs made out of what you got. But you do want to have the pork, or some people use a veal. I myself prefer a pork. It's nothing against veal. It doesn't have any, you know, reasoning behind it. It's just personal preference and its taste and how it comes out. But to each is their own on that type of one, because they're both kind of serve the same purpose in their leanness. And you know, pork's like the other white meat. So alright. So I want to get some garlic minced up here. I think that's okay. That'll do. Okay. Now, as far as like breadcrumbs, I mean, I got like the 4C stuff. We're gonna probably use like all that. But you know, it's already open. There's like Progresso's got their own. I mean, you can just get breadcrumbs, man. It's not like you know. But usually the ratio per pound, like if you're gonna do like a pound of pork and a pound of you want like an egg per pound, around like a half a cup to a cup of you know, breadcrumbs per, you know, per pound. I would do like 2 loose cups of, you know, breadcrumbs. Or, you know, what you got. If you're just shy of that, that's not a problem. So yeah. So let's get a big pan here. Now you could do this, I mean, you know, you could do it in whatever you get. Okay. We want to get 2 eggs. Of course, this, but we want to you want to do a little bit of prep, and you want to always try to leave the meat or whatever in there for as long as possible in the fridge, obviously. But one of the reasons I suggest like something like this is because not only are meatballs good for you, getting like the protein, vitamins, all that good stuff, but they're multitask. I mean, you have them with spaghetti, you have a meatball sandwich, you have they're good leftover stuff that you can keep, and they're, you know, you can make a bunch of them. You know, you make them in batches, but yeah. So where is now we gotta find the one that grades there. Because we want kind of, you know, like the type of grade you get out of your, the thing. Now, if worse comes to worse, which we will be using some of that, you use some of this. I mean, you're going to be using some of this. I would, totally. But you can use, especially if it's, like this happens to be the Romano and Parmesan. It ain't like this stuff's cheap, but this is like the store brand or whatever. But if you had to, you could, you know, use this in its place or in conjunction with. Let's see how this one does. We don't gotta be perfect at all about this. And it's all about trying to be easy. And if it's starting to be a pain, and that's when you switch to another damn side. Now ideally you would want to have it be graded, but this is just as close to, you know. Now again, this is Monterey. Now you can do like a, you know, like I said, like a, yeah, I shouldn't have used that side. Yeah, see, that won't be bad. That'll, once you get it in there with the egg and the meats and stuff. Now, you know, the idea is to give it more flavor, more good stuff. So we're probably gonna grate a little bit more cheese to throw in there, but let's we can start mixing some stuff together here. For speedy's sake. When you're handling meat, pork, and all that good stuff, don't screw around. Wash your hands. Wash your hands before you start handling said meat and after you're done handling said meat, and thoroughly. Don't, you know, I mean, get under your nails and stuff like that, for real, because pork and, you know, that can carry a lot of stuff that'll make you sick. And I sometimes think that manufacturers or companies get blamed when it's actually people just not using proper, you know, methods of rinse all your hamburger. But yeah, sometimes I think it comes down to people not using proper methods. Now this is gonna be kind of a nice healthy pound of hamburger, because we We did the Sam's thing. So, it's a little heavier on the beef side. Alright. So, first, what I recommend is getting a little bit of some stuff together here. Now, I'm kind of an eyeball it kind of guy. So, yeah, if you want like measurements for this, I would do a tablespoon or whatever of or a teaspoon of the pepper, and the same with the salt. But that's to taste. Same thing with the parsley and the oregano. My good rule of thumb, get some green running through it, and trial and error with cooking. As long as you follow the basic fundamentals, putting the stuff together, you'll learn when too much is too much, and what the one that will teach you very quick is cilantro. Cilantro will teach you about the minutes of just a little bit more is way too much. Cilantro's good like that. But we're not talking about cilantro, we're talking about some meatballs here. So, okay, we want to, like I said, I'm going to just, now, ideally, I would love to, when it's like summertime and stuff. I mean, we got access to fresh herbs and everything year round, obviously. But, right, this is just like what you got on hand type of deal. And, there's a lot of this crap where it's like, what do I do with that parsley? And, it ain't for ripping people off, man. Bunk weed. I like a coarse ground on my pepper, and it just so happens this one right out of the store came like that. But a lot of these people don't realize have settings, and they don't know because of the it's one of them one. But a lot of these that come ready to go actually have quite a little intricate settings there. So yeah, pay attention, learn something. All right, we're gonna do some of this cheese. Alright, this stuff, this is I'm not like a spokesperson, I'm not getting paid, but this Badia Complete Seasoning It's one of my like go-tos and favorite. Like it's good on anything, and it like put it on scrambled eggs. I think that's the first way I ever had it. Okay, now you want to get like a rough, get it kind of mixed together. As you can see, I didn't put everything in. You kind of want to get the meat and stuff broken up, get some herbs and spices. And with me, I kind of get a look at it, like, what's it, looking like. If it just looks like, some ground up hamburger with some slime in it, and it doesn't have even a little bit of color in it, then, you might want to add a little bit. Yeah, I'm just trying to simplify directions here. But I recommend, like a tablespoon of everything, really. Okay. Put that in. Didn't have anything fresh. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do some of the breadcrumbs. Could have put the garlic in earlier, but with that it really doesn't. It's not that detrimental. Alright, just a little bit more of the alright. how it's gonna get like stiff. You don't want it to be, you know, like that. We want to put a little bit more cheese. Come on.
Huh? Don't say nothing.
The camera right there. Right.
You're recording yourself cooking?
What do they call those types of shows? So, now, alright, yeah. Need hot water, a little bit more salt and pepper for my taste. Some Badia, because I like it a lot. Now I got the water running on hot because you're going to want to add water after this whole thing is mixed, because you got this big gluggy break of like wow. So you got to tame that shit down. But first you want to get, it's like kneading dough. But it's meat. Meaty dough. So, how's your day? Yeah. Uh-huh. Is it? Tell him I said hi. Yeah, I know that feeling. That's a big child, like a tooth. Jesus.
A bone?
Something. It's pork. Damn. What did they? Holy sh.
Next thing you know, there's a recall. Save the wrapper.
Right. Alright. Okay. So you wanna add a little bit of hot water and get you. Yeah, you hear that? Yeah. That's what you want to start hearing. So, you want to get it, it seems counterintuitive because it's like, wow, we just put this, you know, but you want to get it a nice kind of mushy consistency to where it's still pliable and malleable, I mean, but not a rock. And this is also going to help with the juices. So yeah, let's do a little bit more water, and we'll make a Alright, now if your hands are starting to look like, you know, that's kind of like what you want. You want it to be, you know, kind of that, not, maybe just a tad looser than that. Now, and the good thing is if like you go a little bit too far with the water or whatever, you can always put some breadcrumbs or whatever. I mean, unless you go too far and go crazy, then, you know, calm down. But you can usually save it. Put a little bit more cheese in it, perhaps. And you can even tear up some, you know, actual bread or whatever. But you know, you need to kick up your seasoning a little bit. But you want to try to just do little bits at a time. Now, as far as making a meatball, you don't want to sit there and be all like make these perfect. If you ever go to a restaurant or if you ever like see the way chefs do it, it's not this tightly rolled little. That doesn't help with flavors or any of that. I mean, yeah, you want to make a meatball, but you don't. It doesn't have to be this like, you know, these perfect. You know, we're not keeping score and trying to get the, you know, the roundest meatball in the world here. We're trying to have a good meal, and you want it to be, you know, I mean, this is like a good medium-sized meatball. I mean, or probably some would say a good large-sized meatball. But for example's sake, I mean, if it's, you know, looking like that, you know, you can see some folds and stuff in there, like that. You don't. Like I said, you don't want to sit there and, you know, make this little, you know, try to make a baseball and, you know, autograph it and all that stuff. So, other than that, next step, which we won't sit here and do, but what you want to do is you want to sit and you want to make up batches, you know, the whole thing of meatballs, and you know, try to get them all around the same size, because you know that they'll all relatively cook the same, and you know they'll have the same type of cook time and everything like that to them. So you'll be able to get all of them nice and even. Once you do the first few, you'll start to just get the rhythm and figure out how they're all going to cook. But you want to, you know, make a whole batch of them, and then you put about, you know, you take a big saucepan, I mean frying pan, let's see, saucepan, yes, it's saucepan, big one of these mamma jammas, or whatever you got. If you only got, you know, the smaller whatever, you want to get it so, you know, up to like your your first knuckle has got some olive oil in it. Extra olive oil is what I recommend. If you only got regular vegetable oil, and so be it. You should get some extra olive oil. You can get cheap stuff, you know, like even at the Dollar Tree or the dollar store. You know, they got even nice brand name stuff. And for meals such as this, it's worth pulling out the good, cheap, extra virgin olive oil. Because it makes the difference in how it cooks. You know, a better olive oil will cook differently than a regular vegetable oil. It's just how it is. And with stuff like this, it really does make the difference. But you want to get, you know, just a nice little bit of depth on it. At least, you know, the new emoji sign of depth. And then brown on both sides, depending on how big it is. You might have to do like the 4-side, whatever, rotate or whatever. But you do it in batches. Get them all set aside. There's a couple of different things you can do. You can make up a big sauce and just, you know, put them all in the sauce. And it's a good way to finish them off. Or you can set them all aside, let them cool down, and then turn around and make, you know, subs and stuff, and, you know, warm them up that way with open sandwiches and stuff in the oven and such like that. So, yeah, man, meatballs! What do you think, huh? There you go. There's your recipe. Bam. Enjoy, fuckers.